Hello, my name is Mohammad Gandi Pramudya with NPM 19110403X6. I'm from 4H English Educational Department in UIN Raden Interlampung. This video brought to Mr. Satria Adi Pradana M.pd to fulfill my final test. Today, I will talk about a film based on a true story. Okay, here we go. Filmmaker seems to have a run of idea to make films, not only fiction adapted from books or novels. Good films are also often based on a true story with inspiring story and character. There have been tens of or even hundreds of films from various parts of the world which have been adapted from true story. Because of the neat packaging of the film narrative and cinematography, a few have also won prestigious awards. And these 5 films based on true story that you can watch. Number 1, Beautiful Mind. This film tells the true story of a brilliant mathematician from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, named John Nash. Nash is proof that there is a very thin line between genius and madness. One time, he was assigned an assignment from the Pentagon to decode Russian communication, and surprisingly, he managed to crack the code. Then, the U.S. Department of Defense put Nash into a group that worked to scan newspaper and magazine for a secret code tucked away in the text. But it turned out that all of that is not real because Nash suffered from schizophrenia. His craze for a breaking secret code has affected his personal life, relationship with family and friends, and work. A Beautiful Mind has won 4 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Supporting Actress. The film, directed by Ron Howard, made a profit $313 million. Number 2, Deepwater Horizon. A film made by Peter Beck and produced by Summit Entertainment. It premiered in September 2016 in United States. The story of Deepwater Horizon begins with a chief engineer, Mike Williams, who has to return to work to drill for oil of the Deepwater Horizon. Unfortunately, the drilling was delayed by 43 days from the scheduled oil transportation. Long story short, oil drilling continues. At first there were no problem, but after Mike Williams tried to push the oil drilling, then there were problems little by little until they failed. From this failure that triggered a huge explosion and killed many workers. This film is based on a similar true story that took place on April 20, 2010. After a fire, the ship sank into the ocean. Number 3, Sally, Miracle on the Hudson. Sally is a film based on the true story of a pilot, Sullenberger, who accidentally lands a plane with hundreds of passengers on a river. Sally is a film based on an autobiography about this emergency landing that Chelsea Sally Schallenberger made in January 2009 on U.S. Airways flight on the Hudson River. The rescue action saved 155 passengers and crew, although most suffered minor injuries. On January 15, 2009, U.S. Airways pilot Captain Sally and First Officer James Skylis flew from LaGuardia Airport to Carlet Douglas International Airport. 3 minutes into the flight, at an approximate altitude of 2,800 feet, the plane was attacked by a flock of birds, shutting down both engines. Without engine power, Sally estimated that all passengers on the plane will not even be able to reach the nearest airport. Finally, Sally decided to land up the plane on the Hudson River. Although no one was killed and his actions were hailed as a hero, the incident forced him to face an investigation that could threaten his career and reputation because the National Transportation Safety Board insists that planes can still land safely at one of the airports without an engine without having to make an emergency landing in a river. Number 5. The Professor and the Madman. For those who like a serious film with historical nuances, The Professor and the Madman is a spectacular recommendation that is far from boring. The Professor and the Madman is adapted from a book called The Surgeon Thorn in 1998, which tells the life of the Professor James Murray. Sir Murray was the editor of lexicographer for the first Oxford English dictionary in the mid-19th century. Murray has struggled to complete volume after the volume of the Oxford Dictionary. He got help from an American surgeon named Dr. William Chester Minor, who contributed over 10,000 entries. Both are described as a crazy people who are genius and obsessed with making the history of writing the Oxford Dictionary. This was the most ambitious and revolutionary project at the time in history. Why not? The Professor Murray realized he and his team took more than a century to complement all the definitions of known words. However, the great thing is that dictionaries can be completed in just a few decades. In the last part of this film, it was revealed that Dr. Manor is a convicted murderer and is being held in mental hospital for an insane criminal case. And last, number 5, Bohemian Rhapsody. This biographical drama film tells the true story of the late Freddie Mercury, who was successful with his alternate rock band Queen. Queen long story for 15 years made into 2 hours 30 minutes. Even so, the director still managed the to present the monumental story that this four-person band has going through. The story began when Freddie visited a bar where he saw the appraisal of a band smile. One time, the band vocalist decided to leave. Long story short, Freddie also offered to be the band's vocalist. The journey began. Freddie, who did have a crazy character, often composed songs for the band until they became famous. In addition to Queen's story, the audience will also get a spectacle of Freddie's love story with a woman that ends bitterly. But instead, he finds a new lover at the end of the film. The film, based on the true story, will feature one of Freddie's last concerts before falling ill with HIV/AIDS. Incidentally, the concert to raise funds for AIDS for survivors of the disease. Okay guys, there are 5 movies based on the true story that I can share to you today. Don't forget to like and comment. Thank you. See you in the next video.